Neck pain can be a very debilitating condition and one that can get in the way of your life, but it's not one that you have to live with because there's a lot that we can do to fix it. So in this video, I'm going to show you generally what causes neck pain, what you can do at home to help and give yourself relief from neck pain, and what chiropractic can do for you to get to the root cause of the problem, to fix the issue, and to stop it from coming back again in the future. So stay tuned. Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Hume. I'm a chiropractor and I'm based in the south of Oxfordshire. And in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about neck pain. Neck pain will typically present in the neck itself, and it can be in the center, or sometimes it can even go across the shoulders here. So it can seem like it's a shoulder problem. Some people call it a shoulder problem, whereas actually it's coming more really from the neck. It can present in the joints. In the joints, it would typically be more in the center of the neck. It can be on the top or the bottom, or it can come from the muscles surrounding the spine or going into the shoulder. If it's the joints, typically you'll get more restricted motion. If it's more in the muscle, then typically you get more tension or tightness around the neck. There is a lot of overlap, however, because the muscles and the joints in your neck will be working together. So if you get a problem in the neck, more likely you're going to get problems in the muscle and the joint. But the question always is, where is the problem coming from? Where is it originating from? And in my experience, normally it comes from the joints of the spine, and it's not necessarily just in the neck. There are a lot of neck problems that can be coming from your upper back, and basically what happens is you get distortion of the mechanics of that area that causes that tightness or tension in the muscles of your neck, or causes that pain in the joints in the middle of the neck, or restriction in how you're turning your neck. You might have limited motion. You can also get headaches from neck pain, so that you get the pain in the neck and it refers into the head. And in some instances, you can even get pain down the arm if it's irritating one of the nerves. Your neck is a very vital structure, and there's a lot of important structures in there that can be affected. So it's a very important area to make sure it's functioning correctly, because there's a lot of consequences if it's not, particularly when it happens chronically for a long period of time. However, there is a lot that we can do to help. So firstly, I'm going to go through what you can do at home to give yourself some immediate relief. Now, the first one is going to be to simply rest. Particularly when it first comes on, it might just be you need to rest your head. Your head is a heavy part of your body, and it's being supported by the neck. So if you've got a loss of function in the neck, then the weight of your head can be enough just to provoke that neck pain. So you may just need to rest the head, whether you're lying in bed or on the sofa or just sitting, but just resting your head back, just to give it a bit of relief. And when you are resting it, make sure it's in the neutral position. So generally when we're not moving a joint, you want to keep it in its neutral position, because that's when it has the least amount of tension, and that's when it's generally the happiest. The second thing I recommend is then moving it, which is going to be the complete opposite thing. So you want a bit of a balance between the two, but joints are designed to move and muscles are designed to work and move. So if you're not moving, then they're actually going to wear out faster. They've even done studies where they restricted the motion of the necks of mice, and after 12 weeks they had way more wear and tear in them than the mice where they didn't restrict their necks. So we know that when you stop moving a joint, then you're going to wear out faster. So we want to keep the neck moving, but you only have to do gentle and small motions, particularly if you're very painful. If it's very painful, you may just want to stay on that rest period. You might just want to rest the neck until you can start to move it, ideally without pain. You don't want to be moving and making it any worse. If the pain's getting worse, generally it's going to be a bad thing for you. So there's a couple of ways in which you can do this. Sometimes the easiest way is to simply go for a walk. And although you're not necessarily directly moving the neck, the motion of the walking can really help the motion of your low back, which starts to get some motion in the mid back and then up into the neck as well. So neck pain, sometimes by the end of a walk, you can actually feel better. But you do have to be a bit careful, because if you're very acute, then it might even make it worse. So do small doses to begin with. The second way of moving it would be to move the neck. So you can just do some gentle range of motion exercises, just turning the neck side to side and going up and down. I would suggest starting with motions that help the pain, so avoid the motions that cause the pain. So you might, for example, if the pain is better when you look up, then you can just do some very small motions looking up, maybe just supporting your head like on the back of a sofa, or however you're most comfortable doing it. So you just want to get a little bit of motion in there, and that's a couple ways that you can do that. Now, the third thing I'm going to suggest is using heat or using ice. Heat would generally be better for the muscle. So if the pain is coming from the muscle, so particularly if you've got that tension or that tightness, or particularly if you've got the pain that's kind of going down the side of the neck all the way into the shoulder, there's a good chance it's coming from that muscle, so the upper traps muscle here in this case. And by putting some heat just on that muscle, so don't put it in the middle of the neck, but put it on the muscle, can help increase that blood flow and help it recover faster. If the pain is coming from the joint, and particularly if you've got the pain more in the middle of the neck and you're restricted in turning your neck, then I'll suggest putting the ice more in the middle of the neck. The ice is good for the joints because they decrease the inflammation. And typically when a joint is problematic, it's going to have inflammation in it. So by putting a bit of ice on there can help in that instance. You may have to play around with both of them, and I would suggest do the one that helps you. Without being able to see you or diagnose the problem, I can't say necessarily what's going to be good and what's not going to be good, but what I'm going through today will just be generally what I find helps a lot of people. So you have to play around with it and just listen to how your body feels. Now, the fourth and last thing I'll suggest would be painkillers. I'm not one to jump to painkillers. However, in certain circumstances, particularly when you're in a lot of pain, they are there and they can be yet very useful to use. Just to give you a bit of relief, it might allow you to start moving the area or simply allow you to sleep. If you're not able to sleep, then that's going to create a negative loop and that's going to affect the healing. So you do want to make sure you're getting sleep. If you're not sleeping because of the pain, then most circumstances I would suggest that you take some painkillers just to help you to rest. But one of the issues with painkillers that you do need to be aware of is that it can mask the pain. And if you're masking the pain, you might do something that may provoke the pain or provoke the problem and actually make it worse without you really knowing, because it's been masked by the painkillers. So just be a bit wary, and I would only normally suggest that you just take them when you need to. Now, if you've tried these things and you're not getting any relief or the pain just keeps coming back, then there may be something else going on that is underlying the problem. If this is you, I would recommend to get in touch with me. We see neck pain on a daily basis, and we get very good results with the type of treatments that we do. Now, you can get in touch with me through my website and we can find you an appointment and get this sorted. There's no reason why you need to be suffering with this type of issue. If you want any extra advice, feel free to also get in touch or comment on this video and I'll be happy to help. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.